basically really well kneaded, broken down cow manure, and it's mixed with basalt and eggshells, really finely crushed eggshells. Then it sits in these pits. There's one there that we're going to fill up today, and it's been brewing for about 5 months down here. And then we use that either in the 500 stirs or by themselves as a foliar application, or in the bottom of holes when we plant things like the garlic and some of the longer term annuals, things like that. So it's a very tactile process, so it's good fun.
I want to come to Spanish.
And so you're just working through the whole thing. We spend about an hour doing this just to get it nice and fine. And while we're doing this, we're going to start the stir. And so it's right here, so I can talk you through it. But then we need people who want to do the actual stir.
I think what you're trying to achieve when you stir it into a vortex, you want to get a perfect vortex. And you want to get, if you can, get a vortex that spirals right to the bottom. And then once you get that, the rhythm of it is, having achieved harmony through a vortex, you create chaos by turning it back the other way. And you break it all down into sort of shards of shimmering water, splintery water, and then you turn it back the other way and turn it back into a vortex.
Last little bit.
We've been checking them in the
direction, and then you.
Look, I was just thinking, there's a tree down there.
I know, that's right, it's sort of getting it.
So there's more of an orange, it seems like. Is that it? It's not very.
That's right, you should move your arm in a bit wider circle, or widen that.
Farm. So in the Steiner curriculum at class 3 there is a whole theme about farming, and so the kids have planted the seed, or they've tilled the soil, plant the seed, and it'll grow, and they'll collect the seed and they'll make bread. So the curriculum is that whole cycle of science, maths, all sorts of things coming together in this garden. Like the little red head story. The faces on kids when they pull up a carrot that's about that long, they just all go gaga about this carrot, And so the class 6s are out here every week harvesting. We try to do other things, but their things become the growing, but also very much the picking and the marketing of it. So every Thursday afternoon there's a stall at the school. And because we're doing it all year now, the kids are quite practiced at it. They know how to set the stall up, they know how to pick it, and we pick to an order. We'll say we need so many bunches of this, we need so many boxes of this. So the kids will break up into groups and pick it all. They'll bundle it up with rubber bands or whatever. They'll go and wash the salad mix and spin it, put it in bags. Then they'll put a sign out the front of the school with what's on sale today, set the trestles up, collect the money, negotiate with the customers, the whole deal. It's really good.
Passed on the ranges a few times.
For an hour.
So what goes in here now? What's the next thing?
Basically, it's this compost mixes that you use for compost preps as well as for this. And there's 5 different things. So there's yarrow, chamomile, nettle,
it's hard work.
something wood, some wood, I can't remember now. Oak wood, yeah, and elderflower. And one of them is liquid, and all the rest are just powdery things that you make little. I'll show you. You have an orientation for them too, so it has to be in a particular sequence. So I'm just spreading these out in the order, and so I'm just going off this map. I don't ever remember. So you basically make a little hole down in those places where we're going to put the preparations. And I'll let everyone add one of their choice, and then we will add the liquid one last. So we're just going off this little mud bath here. So you just follow the numbers and just put them into, so you put the whole thing. So what you tend to do, I'll do one of them. So you just take it out of the bag really carefully into your hand and have a look at it, because they're all really interesting. This is 502. And you just add a bit of the actual mixture itself to it, just so you make a little bit of a ball. And you then put that ball and all the other dregs down into that hole, and then just pack the soil back around it.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going. There's a little.
Oh, there's a little map there.
I just suggest we'll get contacts with them, an email contact with them, and we can just knowing when the things are.
You can help working your way down a bed. Just choose whichever bed you want.
Can I sneak through this stuff?
It's not. Yeah, I mean it's indirectly. Excellent. Just put them here carefully here to wait.
What are you doing with them?
We're going to bury them so that they make a special compost. We dig them up. But we've just got a lousy digger. So these horns are buried into the earth, into fertile topsoil, placed in such a way that water doesn't get in, i.e. the opening pointing downwards. So we have to make sure that the horny part's pointing up. All the forces that beam in from the cosmos during the winter, the horn concentrates and pushes back into the cow manure. The manure is a matrix which is able to receive these forces and preserve them. When we dig up these horns in spring, we have completely new substance which has become a physical carrier of forces. During this process, something living is taken by the farmer to develop something that serves the living. We are exposing the preparations to the rhythm of the year and keeping the making of the preparations always in the living sphere. So that's why in the topsoil, not too deep down. So part of that is all the microbes are in that sort of top 30 or so centimetres. So that's what we're trying to sort of stick to. So who wants to help put the horns in? No, you don't like horns? Don't you want to have a horn like a unicorn? Ah! Okay, Joe, come on. What we're going to do is we're going to put them up like this.
Actually, me.
Into the ground.
I will.
I'm going to come down.
I'll do one.
Kneel down. That's it.
I'll do
You hold on
this
to
one.
it. Hold it. Hit like this. Quite a shallow.
I've got one.
You got a what? I'm just wetting it a little bit because that soil is quite dry because we haven't had rain for a long time now. That's it. Want to help? Just watching. Don't want to get grubby hands, eh? So that's kind of
Is it?
it, really. This is not the ideal spot. So it should be, if you're thinking eastern states, it'd be really quite fertile soil down quite deep, but because we don't have that kind of soil in the desert, we've compromised a bit, which has meant that we've had to mound them up.
Put some.
Yep, just do a bit more here.
No.
So how much of the 500 have we got left?
Oh, I nearly.
Okay, so we might go back over the garlic beds. That's the ones that we really